All right, that brings us to the Chicago Bears. As we all know that Justin Fields is the priority and the centerpiece. Swagu, will ask you, what do you want to see from Justin Fields, and what do you want to see how do you want the Bears to specifically upgrade around him this offseason?
Yeah, the progression, babyface, of him being more in tune into an offense that he can thrive in. Obviously, we talked about what a disaster it was the first couple starts, and then they started to figure some things out, getting him on the move and allowing him to not only be an athlete, but to throw and hit targets while he's being an athlete, which I think is vitally important and something we need to start explaining a little bit more about how these guys are better on the move when they're throwing the football as well. Obviously, you want them to drop back in the pocket, but the progression is obviously up front, right? They run the ball successfully, but pass protection. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Allen Robinson and this receiving core. You need weapons for a young quarterback, and we always talk about this window of not having to pay these guys crazy amounts of money. This is the time for the Chicago Bears and Poles to get it going and find players that can not only help facilitate Justin Fields in being a better quarterback, but also be there in Chicago when the years get good, because that's what they're planning on. So I look forward to seeing from a philosophical standpoint, him end up in zone read, RPO, getting him on the move and allowing him to develop as a quarterback. But also, what's your future plan for this franchise going forward as well?
You know, I think that's where Marcus and I disagree just a little bit. Yeah, I hear you when it comes to the progression, the movement, basically doing what he does best. Don't allow him to become a sitting duck back in the pocket. But I think at some point, here's what I know about the quarterback position. That guy's got to throw the football from there well. Like, he's got to sit back there and throw the football. After we get done with all the cute zone read and RPOs and we get done with all of that, at some point, whether it's third down, 2-minute red zone, we got to drop back and we got to throw the football and we got to do it from the pocket. And I didn't see enough that would give me a lot of confidence from him last year. Now, I get it. You're a rookie. The biggest growth is from year 1 to year 2. I've been there and done that. We all have. But I need to see more. And Marcus, you're right. That comes from the people around him because the Matt Nagy situation was awful. But at some point, Justin Fields steps on that field, and he's got to get better past the athleticism. And that's where I look at that position differently, because we're coming up in a day and age where it's about the athletic quarterback, yet and still, I need a quarterback that can throw the football from the pocket to win the Super Bowl, i.e. Matthew Stafford, i.e. Joe Burrow. It's cool to get me a couple yards with your leg. You want to win championships? You better deliver that rock from the pocket at some point. He's got to get a hell of a lot better at that.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.